In our first story, the Ochehene Osajefo Amwetio for Opinion II has charged President Nana Addo Dankwa to ensure his government brings about the change the people of Ghana are craving for.
He spoke at the Thanksgiving ceremony in honor of the presidents.
These are hard times, and there are difficult days ahead. The task of managing any African nation is not for the faint-hearted. Neither is it for those who are unwilling to make hard choices, or those who will compromise on issues, or those who will defend status quo. It is for those who have the audacity of courage to change. And the change we're talking about is not changing of just personalities or party A to party B, a revolutionary change of our attitudes as citizens, a change that will make it possible for a no-name child in this part of the world to rise up and become somebody. 2 months from now, this our dear country will be 60 years from independence. If Ghana were a public sector worker, it'd be going on pension. And as fate will have it, then 60 days, Nana Addo will be the one leading the party to send this Ghana into pension and usher in a new Ghana that will give you the platform to eloquently articulate your program and your plans with contemporary freshness and relevance. A new beginning, a new thinking signifying new hope, a new set of ideas, innovative and creative, powered by young people, huge with intellectual capital.
And President Nana Addo Dankwa, who was in his hometown of Chebe in the Eastern region for the first time after he was sworn in by the Chief Justice on Saturday, also seized an event held to honor him to recount how hard the struggle to the presidency has been for his family.
The
journey to the presidency has been a long time coming in our family. In the course of the struggle, our own Dr. Dankwa died miserably in prison.
Dr. Dankwa was prison, chained to a wall like some convicted common criminal. What about Willie?
And when my uncle Willie returned from detention, most of us could not make him out. His ambition to be president never saw the light of day. I also came onto the scene, and after long struggle, today God has answered our prayers. And that, I must say, puts lots of responsibility on us as our chimps.
And political communications lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Eric Opoku, has described as apt an apology by President Nana Addo Dankwa team.
There's been heavy criticism by a cross-section of Ghanaians over the refusal to acknowledge quotes from former U.S. President George Bush and Clinton in his inaugural speech on Saturday. Many have concluded the president's speech was fraught with plagiarism, an accusation the communication director of the now Jubilee House has apologized for. Meanwhile, there is mixed reaction on the streets of Accra over the plagiarism accusation against President Akufo-Addo. Here are some of them speaking to Joy News.
I ask you to be citizens.
I ask you to be citizens.
I don't think it's something really that needs to be talked about so much, because, you know, The emphasis should not be laid on on him, Nanado, but maybe we should find out the person who actually, because this is a huge problem, because as a president and head of state, you shouldn't be able to to lift someone's, speech, like word for word, like that, because it's actually, abysmal and needs to be, like, rectified or something, yeah.
Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not spectators.
From what I have just watched, I think he was just kind of repeating what those presidents have already said. Yeah, that is what I have witnessed here now.
You think it's cool?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It could be cool if the code is nice, and I feel like I want to use it. I could use it anytime I want to use it. Do you understand?
Without acknowledging the original.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Citizens, not subjects.
Citizens, not subjects.
I think that it's too early to be making those mistakes here and there, or trying to make that reference to, I quite remember the late Professor Mills, our president, when he also was there, he also made some mistakes where I think the opposition, we being opposition, then tried to use that against him. But currently, I don't think that would be the right start off now for us to do, because there's more to what is coming. So we should give him the best of time.
Responsible citizens building communities of service and a nation of character.
It's a criminal offense, actually, but I don't know. I saw it on Facebook right now when I was coming, and the only thing I said was that, actually, why should this man be doing that? That kind of. As a president of Ghana, and we are looking at you coming out with your own words for people to actually see that, we hold you responsible for your own words. But you come word to word with another president's speech, and I think it's not the best at all.
Responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
I think it's very bad. It's a bad example. I don't know whether he went through it before coming on board to talk that particular day, but I think it's very bad. And then he being a president-elect, and he also being, let's say, a lawyer, should know better. He has to come out himself to also come and apologize.
He also has to come and apologize to the whole country.
You mean the president?
Yes, please.
That's too much. You're asking too much, don't you think so?
No.
And former President John Agyekum Kufuor had described the inaugural speech by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as one that is well crafted and somewhat resonates with the needs of current times.
He tells Joy News it will be in the interest of Ghanaians to put premium on what the president said about the role of the citizenry in realizing the change the country craves for.
So well crafted and so unifying of our country, and I hope the entire the entire populace of the nation will take the words of the president very seriously, and so every citizen, he stressed citizenship rather than subjects, every citizen will play his or her role for the success and advancement of our nation. I've enjoyed.
Another news, the Executive Secretary of the Kumasi Institute of Technology and Environment, KITE, Ishmael Agyekum is calling for the immediate operationalization of Renewable Energy Fund to help solve the persistent power crisis in the country.
Many countries worldwide are shifting towards the use of renewable energy to power industries and also for domestic use to complement thermal and hydropower generation. Some energy experts in Ghana have indicated this is the right time to implement the Renewable Energy Fund. The establishment of the fund was necessitated by the passage of the Renewable Energy Act some 5 years ago to provide for the development, management and utilization of renewable energy for the generation of power.
And in an interview with Joy Business, Ishmael Agyekum, also an energy expert, said government must liaise with the private sector to help operate the fund.
Elsewhere, they had the Renewable Energy Fund, which is basically taxing regular conventional fuel and using it to set up a fund, so you're able to bring down the cost and also set up funds that investors could actually borrow money from at a very affordable rate and use it. That's what is missing in Ghana. 5 years after the passage of the law, we still don't have the renewable energy fund operationalized. So you have private investors who are interested in fantastic ideas, but you have to go back to the traditional banks for credit. And that's one of the biggest problems why. So that's the missing link now. We need to make sure that we find a way of setting up this fund or creating a mechanism that will allow you and I. Now we're talking about rooftop projects. We're talking about feed-in tariffs. It's there. A lot of business opportunities are in there, but the challenge is who is going to give you the money? Is it EcoBank? Is it all these banks? And you're talking here about 30%? For a short period of time. Meanwhile, these projects are long-term projects. So that I believe is a missing link. Others have complained that the feed-in tariff is still on the low side, but it's a good start. If we're able to get people who are interested in doing business to get the right source of funding, a lot of things will happen in the renewable energy sector.
And that's it for the news. We have a lot more highlight of news as we look at what is has been displayed or has been posted on myjoyonline.com. It's our top online portal. I'm sure the subject of the plagiarism will be there. I know it's not a very good subject for us to be talking about, but it's gaining worldwide international coverage. So if locally we're not covering, it's as if we're a bit biased. So let's just cover it like that.
All right, so we've got the newspapers as well, but Roland is taking a leave. You're going to, where exactly are you going to?
Now it's been confirmed by Derek Sam. I'm going to Fadama. Okay. Fadama.
Okay, so you brought 20 CDs,
yeah.
So that's it. 10
okay.
CDs
Thank
for
you. That's how it works.
What we're doing, it's another week. If you missed last week, we've been doing it for a week, yeah?
Yeah, we started from the 2nd
of January, the working day.
Yeah.
It was
no,
a Monday.
It was a holiday
so
when we started. We started on the holiday.
Okay, so that was last week then. This is our second week. We've got our little, this is our little money moment on the AM show, Roland and myself. The whole idea is to encourage all of you out there to save. This is not our major means of saving. We just put the leftover monies that we'll use for other things that are not so useful every day.
I don't want to mention products. Ice cream.
So we put 10 Ghana cedis in our box. 10 Ghana cedis. So this is our contribution, Roland and myself, and we're committed to doing this every weekday here on the AM show. I mean, even if it's a holiday, but
even when we're not here, we'll send it. I'm telling you.
Now we figured out.
Or better still, when we're not here, we'll put us together and come and put it back.
So we encourage you out there to also get your boxes, your piggy banks, whichever way. I've seen ones that have the padlocks. It's not advisable because you'll be tempted to open. So get one that you can't do anything about, and begin to save. It could be coins, it could be whatever. Just begin to save every day. Be committed. Roland, what we've decided to do is at the end of January, we're going to break this. We'll count how much we have. Yes.
Why don't you wait about the 3rd month?
Because if you invest it, if you put it into something else, you could make more profit than
it would just be 300
Ghana
cedis or maybe less than that. So let's do it. I'm advocating. Just think about it.
I get it.
You think about it.
I get it, but there's a thought. Maybe we can debate this
You think
tomorrow.
about it.
But get your boxes and put your monies into it. Roland would leave us now because he's going to Fadama. And then I will be here. I'll take charge, but he'll be on your screens in a little bit. We'll find out.
Remember, we're discussing the Zongos. We're talking about alternatively what the Akufo-Addo-led government has for the Zongos as promised in their manifesto. And so we're going to have Kamaldeen Abdullahi is the boss in charge of all Nazareth in Ghana for the MPP. He'll be in the studio. And then we're going to have Sheikh Aremeyao. And Sheikh was in charge or is in charge of the Islamic education unit and knows a lot more about what goes on with literacy levels and development in Muslim communities, and so we'll be there. Charlie, my producer,
we'll see you. Stay with us. I've got the newspapers coming up right here on the show.